What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness.
So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel.
So let's start this video with Portugal Pro. Specifically, this response from Nathan D'Asha after placing third in that show. Which by the way is something nobody expected. Now you would expect Nathan D'Asha going full ballistic on the judges over this very mysterious call. But the man showed great sportsmanship, congratulating the winner Rubiel Mosquera.
And massive congratulations to Rubio, bro. Well done, brother. Champion again, 2 weeks back to back. Well deserved. For me, until next time, guys, it's time to get this skinny ass face fat again.
And he did not say a single word about where he should have placed, or whether or not this was the right call or not. Look, we weren't there in attendance at the show, but based on the stream and the pictures and the videos that we got, in my opinion, there is just no way possible that Nathan placed third last night. The lowest he could have placed, that was second. The fight for the title, that was obviously between Rubiel and Nathan. And most of us 100% agree with the call in regards to Rubiel winning this show. He had a lot more size, a lot more width. Plus, on top of all that, his overall aesthetics, they were looking a lot better than Nathan D'Asha, who by the way was unable to hold on to the fullness and the thickness on his physique as the prejudging went on. But Rubiel, on the other hand, he got better as the show went on. But I personally think that Nathan was penalized and made an example of for speaking against the judges after what happened at Dubai Pro show. Maybe if Nathan would have reacted the same way after Dubai Pro 2, the way he reacted today, he surely would have been in second place at the very least at this Portugal Pro show. And it kind of seems like that the conqueror William Bonac, he's still kind of pissed on Nathan D'Asha for complaining and mentioning him and saying that Bonac's physique, that looks blocky after what happened at Dubai Pro show. So Bonac congratulated Rubiel Mosquera, but indirectly left a very quiet and a thoughtful message for Nathan D'Asha too on what to do after losing a show. That being said, this marks the end of the season for Nathan, and I for one cannot remember the last time when Nathan was unable to win any show in one calendar year since 2017. So we can all agree on Rubiel winning this show. But what did you guys think about this call of Bruno Santos beating Nathan D'Asha? Was it the right call in your opinion? So the former Mr. Olympia champion Brendan Carey, who won the Olympia back in 2019, he means business this time as he preps for this upcoming Mr. Olympia in October. So he did a guest posing yesterday, and that size and the condition, it's just not very Brendan-like for 14 weeks out, since the only time he competed this year, that was at the Arnold, Ohio this year. And that show happened in March, and he placed top 4 at that show, beating William Bonac and so many of these young guys. Now it was quite apparent on the Battle of the Olympia video with Samson and Derek that Carey was looking supersized. And here we got another look on his complete physique. Very round, very full, very 3D, which has always been a trademark of Brendan Carey. But at the same time, he's maintaining all of his aesthetics and the midsection, which makes Brendan one of the most aesthetically pleasing physique in the men's open bodybuilding. And the reason I said that it is very unlike of Brendan is because normally what happens, he is starting his prep at 14 weeks out mark. He is very downsized and he starts to ramp things up at this point. But this time, the man is already full blown, looking very swole. Now for those of you guys who do not know, Brendan will be turning 43 this year. And that is a perfect definition that age is just a number for him. Now I'm not gonna say that he will have the biggest legs on this year's Olympia stage, or he's gonna have the most ribbed and most defined and most separated legs at this year's Olympia stage. In fact, the legs have always been the biggest knock on Brendan Carey ever since he won the Olympia back in 2019. But he has been able to hold on to all that muscle, which many people lose after 40 years old. So can he be back in the top 5 at this year's Mr. Olympia? Well, if you guys ask me, I think that's very highly unlikely, because he isn't gonna place top 9 either at this year's Olympia. But at the same time, cracking top 5, that is gonna be very difficult. But let me know how high do you guys think Brendan can place at the Olympia this year. Next up, we have a totally unfiltered, raw, no pump 14 weeks old physique update from one of the biggest wildcard in this year's Mr. Olympia in the men's open, and that is Can Vito. And this is a very young guy who is gonna be making his Olympia debut at the age of 28. And he's the one who is gonna have some real hype behind him. And one of the major reasons for that is how he showed up and how he compared against Martin Fitzwater last year in Detroit. So this is among the best front double biceps in pro bodybuilding at the moment, and he isn't even close to being contest ready as of right now. I mean, look at those wide clavicles. Combine that with some of the best quads in the world. Amazing vacuum that makes him so damn unique. So what's different between him and Rubiel, as both of these guys have humongous legs? Well, that is pretty obvious, that Can Vito's legs has so much separation and so much detail in them. That is just on a whole different level front to back. Even the hamstring drop on Rubiel and the kind of detail that he has in his side leg, that is pretty damn good. And Can Vito always brings super striated glutes. They are always ripped to shreds, while Rubiel has way better legs from the side. But he doesn't have enough separation in them. But that being said, Can Vito has been working pretty damn hard in the gym since the Portugal Pro this year, the show that he was supposed to do, but he was unable to do it because of that lat year. So he's in the gym grinding hard to make some very noticeable improvements before his Olympia debut in October. So his coach Chris Aceto said that Can Vito was good enough to win in Brazil, but he wasn't at his all-time best by any means. So his fate is dependent on how improved his side shorts look, especially from the front, in comparison to those top 10 guys at this year's Mr. Olympia. Because this is where he loses the ground, because of the fullness and the pop in the chest and in the arms. And that is something that he needs to work on big time. And also in his upper back. Now he has a crazy lat spread shot and an amazing abs and thigh shot. So Vito has some pretty powerful shots, but he has to make some improvements in the weak shots too. Now, I do not think he can have the same impact as Martin Fitzwater with his pro debut, because there are too many good guys at the top level and some who won there last year. But I 100% think that he's gonna be in the top 10 at the very least. But let me know what you guys think. The 212 Olympia champion Keon Pearson checks in at 15 weeks out of this year's Mr. Olympia. And the man must be looking a lot sharper today, as this update is from roughly 8 to 10 days back. So he's supposed to shock everyone from the front, that is expected, as he has some of the greatest genetics, one of the most amazing shape in the entire bodybuilding from the front. But as I have stated previously, that this time he is turning out to be a totally different bodybuilder when he turns around too, from the back too, and he might have the best back in the entire 212 this year. I mean, look at that back double biceps. A whole lot of muscle and a whole lot of density has been added, especially in the upper half. Now, I don't think anyone is gonna argue that Keon's hamstrings, they were among the very best in the entire Olympia last year, and he brought them up big time from 2023 to last year, and they are gonna look even better this year. So the back double biceps was a pose which used to be the biggest strength for Sean Carida. But this time, I for one am not even considering Sean a threat to Keon from the back. Keon is altogether in a league of his own. The way he's making progress, that is beyond impressive. So Keon did talk about his weight right now, as last year he was weighing around 218 pounds at the same point. Now he can realistically be around 224 to 225 pounds, which is a 6 to 7 pounds jump from last year, while maintaining those same aesthetics, those same beautiful lines. So open bodybuilding is calling Keon. The prize money and the difference, that is another reason to seriously think about that. But as of right now, the only thing on his mind, that is the title number 3 in the 212. So another day, another brutal 300 kgs working set by Hadi Choopan in squats. So the Persian Wolf is hungrier than ever, and seeing him train in such a way that makes you question, does the idea of getting injured that ever crosses his mind? So let's just hope that he never gets any injury as this style of training has played the biggest role in the density and the thickness that he brings every single time he steps on stage. So the fans were kind of skeptical whether Hadi Choopan is gonna get his visa this time for the US. And now that things have kind of settled down in the Middle East, Hadi is gonna be on the Olympia stage for the 7th consecutive time in his career, with the plan of reclaiming his throne. Now, a very interesting question that was asked by Dennis James on the Menace podcast. So Derek 2025 Arnold versus Hadi 2024 Arnold Ohio look, which physique was better? And everyone picked Hadi Choopan. That is how competitive Hadi can be when he is on his A game, when he is 100% on. And you bet that the reigning Olympia champion, Samson Dauda, will be considering him as the biggest rival in October, because the kind of hotness and conditioning that Hadi Choopan brings, that is simply unmatched. And we have heard the same thing from Nick Walker too. And we have to keep in mind, Hadi Choopan is gonna be 100% fresh, and he is supposed to peak 100% for this year's Mr. Olympia. The question is whether Honey Rambot he's still helping him, or is Hadi coaching himself for this one? So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.